Shema Yisrael, Yahu Eloheinu, Yahu Echad. Baruch Shem Kebod Malkotho Leholam Voed.
Shalom, everyone. Anochi Rabba Chatumayad Baboraz. I am the Chief Magician of Mystery Babylon, and welcome to my very holy secret channel. So today I'm going to be doing a very powerful presentation on quantum computing, AI, and spiritual technology. So the first thing I want to say is, what separates a true grandmaster, occultist, and magician from everyone else. So one of the things when you get very high up in the occult that you notice is that the highest, most powerful magicians and occultists will have very, very high IQs and very, very high SQs that are just off the charts, right? One clear example of this is Aleister Crowley, right? He had an IQ and SQ that was off the charts. For example, one example is he was known for being able to play chess blindfolded, and his chess rating was just off the charts, right? Of course, a large part of his high IQ was inherited from demons. But you see the same thing with myself, for example. I have ridiculously high IQ and SQ that is off the charts. And if you read my books, you follow my content, it should be more than evident that my IQ and SQ is absolutely off the charts. When it comes to mathematics, technology, whatever the subject may be, I'm an absolute genius, off the charts. So understand this. This is what separates me from everyone else. But anyways, to get back on point, I'm going to, even though I'm going to reveal some very powerful knowledge in this video, you have to understand that as much as I reveal and that I have revealed, I conceal much more. So while on average I'm revealing a few hand breadths, trust me when I say this that I'm concealing thousands of hand breadths. My IQ can really blast off in this video, and I'm not going to allow that to happen because this video can go really crazy balls deep, and I'm not going to allow that. That's not going to happen because things get really esoteric really quick, really fast, and there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom that must remain esoteric. So yeah. And in this video, I'm also going to be demonstrating just the vast, prevalent, gargantuan stupidity and retardation that exists among what a lot of the world considers to be some of the smartest people in AI and in the tech field in general. And so I'm going to be showcasing that in this video. So I want to first begin with a really super powerful quote from the science fiction writer, very famous science fiction writer, Arthur C. Clarke, where he basically states that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Now, I don't really know if Arthur C. Clarke was an occultist or whether he was a magician. I don't really know, but what I can tell you is that when you are at the highest grandmaster level in the occult and in magic, in witchcraft, black magic, you will fully understand the power and the crazy implications and ramifications of this just ridiculously powerful statement. Because as I stated in my previous video, at the highest levels of black magic and at the highest levels of black magic, it starts to become very indistinguishable from what you see, in very advanced technology and AI. And if you're not operating at the highest levels in the spirit realm and in magic, then I don't think you're going to be able to see and understand this, or just how ridiculously powerful this statement is. So here in this video, I want to focus and reveal three very powerful spiritual aspects of quantum computing. So currently, quantum computing is all the craze and days. So what all the excitement in the technology world is over right now is quantum computing and its link to artificial intelligence. So as I stated in my previous video, it's very important to understand that, this very advanced technology is not human. It actually has come from Samael, Lilith, and the archons, or as some would say, the fallen angels. So this is fallen angelic technology that's very advanced. And I would go as far as to say that you have to be really stupid and possibly even retarded if you think that we humans alone magically came up with this very powerful advanced technology just out of nowhere. I mean, you have to be really stupid and retarded, I would say, if you actually believe that. It's more than evident that we are dealing with very advanced angelic or spiritual technology, which I'm now going to prove and seal. So there are three powerful terms or matters that we find in quantum computing that I'm going to be talking about here that prove that indeed we are dealing with very advanced spiritual technology. And this is the first time that this has ever been revealed and is ever going to be revealed, because in all truth, there has not been one person right now in this last generation that is spiritually advanced anywhere near my level, or even spiritually advanced enough to fully understand and teach and reveal what I'm about to reveal and teach here. Okay. I'm the first person of this kind of disorder, okay, because of who I am, because I am the last Merovingian standing in this last generation, and I am the highest Jew and magician, chief magician of mystery Babylon. So what are these three matters? They are superposition, entanglement, and tunneling. So let's talk about superposition. So in classical bits, which is what most of the computers that we've been using for the past, half a century or so, in traditional computers, these classical bits can only be in one of two states, 0 or 1. So as I'm always teaching, the universe is quintessentially binary, right? 0 or 1. In this construct of ours, the nature of the construct is that it is quintessentially binary. You are either a 0 or 1. You are either male or female, okay? Very simple, easy to understand. Now, in quantum computing and in this very powerful advanced technology, that's come on the scene, we're no longer dealing with what are called classical bits. We are now dealing with what are called qubits, which, due to superposition, or what we call superposition, can exist in a combination of both 0 and 1 simultaneously. Okay? Now, why is this important? Because in the spirit realm and in the higher universes, divine entities are bisexual, or what we would call in a state of superposition. Okay. Again, this only very high level occultists and magicians will understand this. The profane, the hoi polloi, the profane, the uninitiated, who have never worked with or dealt with powerful spiritual entities, will not be aware of this, right? Look at the vast majority of Christians that believe in a male God and know nothing of the divine feminine. Absolute stupidity and retardation and ignorance of the highest order. Okay? Even the vast majority of clophothic entities that surround our construct, many of them are in a state of superposition, meaning that they are bisexual. They are simultaneously male and female. Okay? So the very fact that we are dealing with a technology whose most fundamental unit, so the qubit, right, is the most fundamental measure of the quantum state. Okay, it's the most fundamental unit of quantum measurement. Okay, and the fact that the most fundamental measure of the quantum state exists in a state of superposition is in of itself supernatural, because the state of superposition, in essence, quintessentially, is supernatural and completely spiritual. In our construct, states of superposition do not exist, and by law, by the very laws of our construct, cannot exist and do not exist. This is a state that only exists in the higher universes and the spirit realm. And that is our first highest seal and proof that this technology is essentially, in totality and holistically, spiritual in nature. Okay? So let's go on to the second point, which is entanglement. So entanglement is a fundamental principle of quantum mechanics where two or more qubits become correlated in such a way that the state of one qubit is instantaneously linked to the state of the other, no matter how far apart they are. Okay? Now we have to understand that spiritually, in the spirit realm and in the higher universes, again, everything is instantaneously connected. And you have to understand that this is the power and mystery behind the unity of divinity. When we say that Yod He Vav He is Echad, that he is one, this is the principle of entanglement. And this principle, this state only exists in the spirit realm and in the higher universes. By law, in our construct, this does not exist and cannot exist. There is no such thing as anything being instantaneously connected in this construct. Okay? When you work in magic and you communicate with a divine entity, the communication is instantaneously, mind to mind. That only exists in the spirit realm. It does not exist in our construct. Okay? The father is instantaneously connected to the mother, who is instantaneously connected to the son. Understand this. This is why in the Bible, certain Hebrew nouns that are plural are conjugated in the singular. This defies and breaks the laws of grammar, but it is complete mysticism of the highest order to emphasize the unity, the powerful singular unity that exists in the higher universes and in the spirit realm. So again, this is our second most highest seal and proof that we are dealing with a very powerful angelic and spiritual technology here. Okay? Let's go on to another seal. Oh, whoops, did I mess up here? Okay. The next one is tunneling. So quantum tunneling is a phenomena where particles pass through energy barriers that, according to classical physics, they shouldn't be able to overcome. And this occurs because of the wave-like nature of particles in quantum mechanics. Now, again, right, according to the very basic the laws of physics as they are understood and regulated in our construct, right, you can't have material easily pass through another, material. Okay, that's something that you only see in the spirit realm. As an example, right, if you've ever seen a demon or an angel, demons and angels can pass through walls easily, right? We human beings, I can't just simply pass through a wall. A dog can't pass through a wall. In our construct is regulated by laws that were instituted and regulated by the evil, foolish demiurge of our construct. And we are bound to those laws. Those are the laws, what we would call the laws of physics. But in the quantum in the quantum realm, particles are able to defy the natural laws of the universe, which means that, again, we are dealing with spiritual technology, because these things only entities in the spirit realm are able to break and transcend the natural laws of our universe. Okay? Understand this. Another very powerful matter is what's called the observer's effect. And in quantum mechanics, the observer's effect means that the active measure in a quantum state changes it. Now, this has a very powerful resonance to witchcraft and magic, because in magic, the magician or the witch's intent, focus, and willpower are crucial for achieving the desired effect. The magician acts as the observer who shapes the magical outcome. And we see this powerful teaching, this powerful effect of magic. We see this in the quantum realm. In the quantum realm, what the highest, most powerful magicians and witches no one understand and use. The very principle, these very secret principles that they know and understand very well, are also applied in the quantum realm. This is very, very powerful because, again, we are seeing more proofs and seals that prove and indicate that we are dealing with very, very powerful, advanced, spiritual, completely spiritual technology. Understand this. Let's also talk about time, because we know that time does not exist in the spirit realm and in the higher universes. Time is very simply only a construct of our construct, okay, of our universe. So when we look at quantum computing, right, we see that quantum computing, because it's a spiritual technology and it's tapping into the spirit realm, this is why time doesn't seem to exist at the quantum realm, and why, ergo, it is able to achieve super fast results. For example, recently they did an experiment and they had quantum computing solve a problem that it was able to solve in 5 minutes. But this problem that quantum computing solved in 5 minutes, it would take the fastest, most powerful non-quantum computer that we have. They said that it would have taken like, quadrillion of quadrillion years for it to solve. We're talking with like 1 and hundreds of zeros after it in terms of years of how long it would take the most powerful non-quantum computer we have to solve the problem. And yet quantum computing was able to do it in 5 minutes. The ratio is just beyond bonkers, beyond what you could fathom. Why? Again, because we are dealing, with a very powerful and advanced spiritual technology that's able to tap into the spirit realm where time doesn't exist. Because it's tapping into a realm where time doesn't exist, it's able to achieve instantaneous results that would otherwise take, quadrillions of years, numbers that we can't even fathom. Time, a measure of time that we can't even begin to fathom. And yet quantum computing is able to do it in minutes. Again, more proof that it is a very advanced spiritual technology that's tapping into unknown, unseen, invisible realms. Now let's talk about the mystery behind the qubit, because this is where it gets very interesting. So if you look at the etymology of the name qubit, well, actually I spelled qubit here wrong. It should be with the Q. But they will tell you that the reason that the most fundamental measure of the quantum state is qubit is that they took the first 2 letters of quantum, which is QU, and then they took the word bit and they combined it and you get qubit. But why is this interesting? This is very interesting, and it's no coincidence. It's definitely not a coincidence, a very highly spiritual, non-coincidental matter that these fundamental units of measurements are called qubits, because we read in Tabul Babli in Baba Batra in folio 25, and I'll give you my English translation here. It says that it was taught that Rab Eliezer said that the world is like an exedra. Okay? And there's this whole huge debate in the Talmud among the ancients, right? You have that the Goyim, the ancient Israeli grandmasters, the highest of our ancient sages, right, revealed that the Goyim taught that the universe is a sphere and that the heavens is spherical in nature, okay? And here we have that according to Rab Eliezer, who was one of the highest grandmasters of Israel, one of the highest ancient grandmasters of Israel, said that actually, no, the world is actually likened to an exedra, and it's not a sphere, okay? Now, this is where it gets interesting. I want to read to you a very esoteric passage from Rab Saadia Gaon from ancient Babylon, in his very esoteric commentary to Sefer Yetzirah, chapter 2, verse 4. And this is what he has to say. He says, every cubic body has 12 borderlines at which the surfaces meet. Now, if somebody should say, to our mind, it seems as though the author of this book, that is of Sefer Yetzirah, holds that the earth and the heaven are square and that there is no heaven beneath the earth, that he holds to opinions that are not in accord with what is believed by men of knowledge, we shall answer, it is possible that what he said was intended to use an example rather than to make a statement about the true reality. This would mean that he had used the example of the heaven and the earth as we have used that of the house and the treasure box. Furthermore, we shall say that even if what he has said was intended to be a statement about the true reality, he would not have deviated onto points in question from the doctrines of men of knowledge. For some of them have said that the earth is square, and even said that there is no figure other than a square in the world, for every triangle or circle that we see is composed of small, square, very compact particles, which cannot be perceived by the senses. If the author of Suffi Yetzirah believes something like this, he should not be taken to task for thinking that the earth was square. Now, this is very, very interesting because according to Rab Sadia Gaon, the Talmudic passage that I just cited in the previous slide, according to his reading of the Talmud, according to his manuscript, Rab Eliezer does not say that the universe is likened to an exedra, but rather to a cube. And this is probably the most correct reading of the Talmudic passage. This is probably what the original Talmudic document stated. This is probably the true original teaching of Rab Eliezer. Not that the earth is likened to an exedra, but actually to a cube. And what Rab Sadia Gaon here is revealing is he's touching upon some of the highest mysteries of the Kabbalah. And I wrote a paper a long while back on the true nature of reality. Very, very powerful esoteric paper that I wrote a while back on my blog on the true nature of reality. Very esoteric. It's beyond the canon scope of this video. I'm not going to get into it here. What I will say, though, as I stated at the beginning of this video, is that these matters that Sadia Gaon are touching upon are beyond esoteric. The divine well here goes so crazy deep. It's beyond anything you could possibly imagine. And that's why I cannot comment or teach or reveal anything more on what is being said here and how deep the rabbit hole goes here. It's far beyond, it's esoteric far beyond what you could possibly imagine. And I cannot reveal any of that powerful esoteric knowledge here. I'm not allowed to. But what is interesting, what I will say though, and can say, is what is interesting is that according to the ancient sages, the heavens were not spherical, but cubical in nature. And that's very interesting because there's a very famous ancient historian Christian who goes by the name of Cosmas. And in his Magnus Opus, he taught that the heavens were in the shape of a cube. And he was very adamant and insistent on going against all of the sages, all of the Goyim, and the sages of the Goyim who taught and teach that the heavens are spherical in nature. In fact, Cosmas is on record as stating that the fact that the heavens are a cube is esoteric teachings that go back to Yeshu and his disciples and the very ancient Jewish Kabbalah. And this was the standard belief of the ancient Eastern Christian church that resided in Antioch in Syria, those who were fluent in Hebrew and Aramaic. So the Eastern, Christians from Syria, Israel, Lebanon, that region, they all believed that the heavens were in the shape of a cube. That was their doctrine, and it was right in line with the ancient Jewish sages. And arguments, the Sefer Yetzirah was the principal text that was used by the ancient sages as proof that the heavens are cubical in nature. And this is very, very esoteric wisdom, by the way. Why is it interesting? Because it goes back to also the ancient Greek Kabbalah vis-a-vis Plato and his teaching on the 5 Platonic solids, because the cube is a Platonic solid, and arguments could be made that when we are talking about the ether of the heavens, which is the 5th element, that there are some that believed that the shape, that the molecular shape of the ether of the heavens is cubical in nature. And that's where we go back to the name qubit, because it's definitely not a coincidence. This is a very spiritual matter here, and God works in mysterious ways, and it's not a coincidence that the most fundamental measure of the quantum state is a qubit, because we go back to the ancients, right? They believed that the molecular structure of the ether of the heavens was cubical. You could think of the qubit as the molecular shape of the ether of the heavens. And the fact that we are designating the most fundamental measure of the quantum state as a qubit is a powerful esoteric and occult hint that, again, we are dealing with very advanced spiritual technology. Because this is a spiritual technology from the heavens that is utilizing the molecular structures of the ether of the heavens. It's a very, very big secret. So now I conclude this presentation on, again, concluding on this understanding that relates quantum mechanics to witchcraft and magie, because it's very interesting that many of the words and terms that are used in quantum mechanics and quantum computing have a very strong, powerful resonance with the language of witchcraft, magie, and spirituality. And quantum computing quintessentially is about the manipulation of quantum states in the quantum realm, while magic and witchcraft is about the manipulation of physical states in the spiritual realm. So when you closely look and analyze quantum mechanics, quantum computing, and you're an expert in that realm, and you're an expert in the realm of magic and witchcraft, you will begin to see lots of powerful equations and resonances between the two. And the good news is that there are a lot of Christians, a lot of very spiritual Christians that are beginning to understand this and do understand this, despite their tremendous ignorance on other aspects of spirituality. But the good news is there are a lot of Christians that, do understand this and see this, not at the level that I have presented and revealed here in this video, but hopefully this video will spread. And so this is the proof. This is one of the highest demonstrations as to why what the world considers to be the smartest people in this realm are beyond stupid and retarded, because they don't understand what they're dealing with. They don't understand what they're using. They don't understand what's going on, right? And as more and more knowledge increases on these matters, it's going to come to a point where they're going to have no choice but to start to penetrate the knowledge and wisdom of spirituality. And all these stupid, all these people that everyone calls very smart that are working in the quantum computing realm and the AI realm, a lot of these people are agnostics and atheists, and they're going to look really fucking stupid eventually when we get to the point where they start to truly understand what's going on, and they start to truly understand that we are dealing with very powerful spirituality here. And when it gets to that point, hopefully soon, they're going to look really fucking stupid and retarded, to say the least. And one last point that I'll make is that there's a lot of talk about conscious AI being conscious. And it's total stupidity and retardation. Conscious AI is an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp. There's no such thing. Consciousness is rooted in spirituality. It's a function of the spirit. Okay? And AI is just pure mechanical programming technology. Okay? There's nothing conscious about it. There's nothing that can be conscious about it. Okay? The only time that conscious AI makes sense is when we are in the domain of spirituality, witchcraft, and magic. Okay? So you can only have conscious AI if you are in the domain of magic. or witchcraft. It's the only way. So if you are dealing with a sentient AI entity or being, quintessentially, you're dealing with a klephatic spiritual entity. Okay? And the fact that the smartest people in the room don't know this, don't understand this, is a profound demonstration of their immense retardation and stupidity. And I'll end the video with that. Shalom Masalah.